It's Tiriano, building bonds, building future.
A very good morning to all. I, Gaurav Singh, welcomes you again. And today we will study the next part of the chapter 4, that is the judiciary. Okay, so as you know, it is of class 8. Okay, so the fourth chapter in civics, that is the judiciary. Okay, so you will study. Okay, yesterday what we have studied, okay, in the last lecture, it was about judiciary. In that we studied the different segment of the chapter, that is Supreme Court, High Court, District Court, Subordinate Court. These were some of the very basics about the judiciary, and also studied the introduction of the judiciary, then role of the judiciary. Later on we also studied about the role of judiciary. Okay, then structure of judiciary, structure क्या होता है, I also studied. Okay, then we studied about the different structure in that: Supreme Court, High Court, District Court, Subordinate Court. Okay, subordinate judge class, all that we studied in last lecture. Then structured courts in India, that is Supreme Court. Okay, it was already there. What was the role? Okay, the role was to dispute litigation and judicial review and upholding the law and what? Enforcing the fundamental rights. So these were all about the our judiciary chapter, okay, in which we have studied till now. Now there is another term, that is we studied. It was branches of legal system. So we studied here the different steps, like due to the appellate system, if anyone is not satisfied by the judgment of the lawyer court, okay, lower court से अगर judgment satisfied नहीं है, then you can go for the Supreme Court or higher court. Okay, because as you know, Supreme Court is the apex court of the country. Understood? Now there were 2-3 questions. Okay, then yesterday we left that there will be 2 types of law we have to study. Okay, so in this class basically we will study the branches of the legal system. Okay, आपको पता है Indian legal system has 2 main sections. That is 2 main sections. One is civil law and another one is criminal law. Okay, so we are having 2 sections in the law, Indian judiciary system, that is civil law and criminal law, and the rules, okay, for each of these laws vary from each other. Okay, as the highest judiciary of authority, the Supreme Court takes care of the civil and criminal issues. It means both the cases is justified under the highest authority of India, okay, in terms of judiciary, that is Supreme Court. Supreme Court and other courts take care of civil and criminal laws. Understood? So हमारे पास 2 लॉ है, सिविल लॉ और क्रिमिनल लॉ. अब हम पढ़ेंगे सिविल लॉ क्या होता है और क्रिमिनल लॉ क्या होता है. Understood? So very first, what is criminal law? Criminal itself is indication crime. जो crime करता है वो criminal कहलाता है. Understood? If someone is doing crime, they are known as criminals. So criminal's law takes care of misconduct of citizens which are defined as an offense or crime by the law. If it is mentioned that in the laws, okay, कि अगर आपने कोई crime किया, suppose you have committed any crime, okay, or offense, then it is mentioned, it is also mentioned that in the law or the book, then it will be considered as criminal, okay, or crime offenses. It will come under the criminal law. Understood? वो criminal law के अंदर आ जाएगा. फिर कुछ चीजें होती है कि सर क्रिमिनल लॉ को कैसे मैग्निफाई करें, क्रिमिनल लॉ है या नहीं. तो क्रिमिनल लॉ के लिए CRPC जो बुक है वो उसमें हम लोग पढ़ते हैं क्रिमिनल प्रोसीजर व्हाट कोड CRPC. ओके, उसमें क्या होता है, क्रिमिनल्स के सारे प्रोविजंस मेंशन. देन a criminal case starts with filling report with the local police who then starts an investigation of the matter. The court finally decides on the matter. It means whenever you found that any kind of problems are there, crime or crime offense has been done or committed in a particular location, you have to just go in the police station. You have to do the FIR. वहाँ पे FIR करते हैं. FIR क्या होता है? First Information Report. तो FIR आप क्या करते हैं? वहाँ पर रजिस्टर करते हैं. Then what happened? Police will take action against the criminal. Okay, and the police will try to find out the criminal from the any region of the India. Why? Because he or she or they have done the crime, and for that there is judiciary system to provide the judgment. Okay, जिसके साथ घटना हुआ उनको अगर वो बताते हैं कि आपको जस्टिस चाहिए तो वो जस्टिस कौन देगा? अपना जुडिशरी देगी. अंडरस्टूड? सो क्रिमिनल लॉ को पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेट करती है और जो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ सम एविडेंस, जो गवाह सबूत जिसको बोलते हैं एविडेंस बोलते हैं, उनके बेस पे क्या होता है कि इन्हें जजमेंट मिलता है. अंडरस्टूड? सो दिस इज अबाउट द क्रिमिनल लॉ. देन व्हाट इज सिविल लॉ? Earlier it was about the criminal law, because if someone is doing crime, okay, or committing some offences, then it comes or it is mentioned there in the law book, then it comes under criminal law. But about the civil law, because civil law in contrast takes care of disputes in the event of violation of citizens' fundamental rights. Civil law means whenever you are thinking and you think about your violation of your rights, कि ये आपकी ज़मीन है and someone is captured that with some mass particle approach and all, then you can say that we have violated, means someone has violated my rights, that is fundamental rights. And if someone is violating this crime or this offense comes under civil law. ये civil law के अंदर आता है अगर आपकी fundamental rights violate होती है. Understood? Then the involved parties then file a petition to the relevant court. Finally, the court provides a solution and the decision thereafter to the dispute presented. Means you have to file the civil case in the civil court, and the court will provide you the justice on the basis of the what? On the basis of your information provided to the court. Okay, and whatever kind of disputes are there, that disputes can be resolved or it is resolved by the civil court. So these courts are available for the general people to sort out the problems or to bring the solution of any civil cases. Okay, so these are about the civil law. I hope you understood about the criminal law and civil law. What is criminal law? Criminal law is a law in which if some people is committing any crime or offenses, or that offenses is mentioned under the criminal law book, then they will consider as a criminal law. Okay, so that will be the final decision taken by the judiciary, and that judiciary will provide the judgment on the basis of different parameters or the evidence provided to the court. Understood? So this is there. Okay, so I have already told you about the criminal law. Then what is civil law? In brief, I am going to describe. Okay, civil law means a law which is provided to the citizen for protection of fundamental rights. Okay, whatever rights, goods, assets you are having, if someone is forcefully trying to interrupt or trying to capture your properties and some other rights, or trying to violate some other rights, so these cases comes under the civil law, and where you can approach for the solution of the civil law. So there are one more option, that is civil courts are there in every region of the country or the state. So you can file your case there and you will get the proper solution about your cases. Understood? So these are about the two types of sections in the judiciary. which is there in India. So you will able to understand about both the term, that is criminal law and civil law. I hope you understand. Now I am going to proceed the next. Access to the courts. Means what do you mean by access to the courts? Access means किसी चीज का यूज करना, उससे अपना काम निकलवाना. Means अगर if you are having some problem, so how you can sort out? So some mediator is required. As you know, government is having three organs, that is executive, legislative and judiciary. And the third organ, that is judiciary, is there to sort out the problems, okay, or the disputes, which is there in the society or in the country. So whole thing can be resolved with the help of court. So no one in the world or no one in the country is there who has not accessed the court in their life. Most of the time it is experienced that either it may be criminal case और सिविल केस. ओके, इन दोनों केसेस कहीं ना कहीं आपको अपने जीवन में एक बार कोर्ट का चक्कर लगाना पड़ता है, चाहे वो आपके फंडामेंटल राइट्स वायलेट हो या कुछ भी हो रहे हो. ओके, सो आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट यू मे एसेस ऑफ द कोर्ट्स. नाउ व्हाट आई मेंशन हियर इन द स्लाइड्स. सो द स्लाइड टेल्स अस, as per the Constitution of India, it is the fundamental rights of every citizen to have access to justice. Hence, every person, common or otherwise, has access to the courts. As you know, the Constitution has provided the rights, DPSP, the Directive Principle of State Policies, and also one thing that is called fundamental rights, duties. So these are given by the Constitution, and these rights are also protected by the Constitution. So Constitution provides the authority to the people. If you are feeling, if you are realizing that someone is trying to violate your fundamental rights, so at the time you can directly go to the Supreme Court, that is the nodal court or the apex court of the country. Understood? So these are there. So you have the access of courts, so you can go to the courts and you can try to bring the justice. शायद समझ में आप लोगों को आ गई होगी कि हमें कोर्ट की जरूरत क्यों पड़ती है. जब तक आपके पास कोई डिस्प्यूट समस्या नहीं होगी, आप कोर्ट कभी नहीं जाएंगे. Understood? So this is it. Then however, in reality, legal procedures are an expensive affair, most certainly for the poor section of the society. One of the facts which is mentioned there in the slide, it tells us that it's quite expensive affair. यानी गरीबों के लिए केस, मुकदमा, डॉक्टरी, ये सब बहुत ही लेंदी हो जाती है. I mean, suppose if you are having too much money, you can spend over that. You can afford that. But what about the poor people? Okay, who will provide them the justice? But it is rare. But most of the time, justice without money is available in India. Okay, that's why there is no need to think about the money. Sometimes it is very much lengthier to collect the evidence. Okay, and sometimes because of lack of evidence, someone loses the justice. Okay, because judiciary system always works on the basis of evidence. Understood? उस evidence के बेस पे काम करते हैं. Now, to solve this problem, the Supreme Court introduced the system of public interest litigation, that is PIL. Okay, we will discuss later about the PIL, what exactly PIL means. Okay, so which allowed every person to approach the court first with their issues. This could be done through a simple communication as a written letter stating the case. Okay, if someone is unable to spend the money, okay, to collect the evidence, or they are not able to get the justice, so at that time they can introduce a PIL, that is public interest litigation, जिसमें आप एक पेपर पे लिख करके समस्या आप डायरेक्ट कोर्ट में दे सकते हो. Understood? This is that. Then courts of India play a crucial role in sustaining the fundamental rights as basic as food. In India, if a person without rules and regulation is animal is living, no rules, no regulation. While in the human beings, there is some rules and regulations, some protocols. So we are here to follow the protocols and follow the rules and regulations. अगर हमारे पेरेंट्स हैं, उनके साथ हमारा किस तरह का एटीट्यूड होना चाहिए, बिहेवियर कैसा होना चाहिए, we used to decide that. Okay, we are having some family protocol. Schools आते हैं तो स्कूल की protocol is quite different than family protocol. जब फिर ऑफिस में जॉब करते हैं आप तो ऑफिशियल प्रोटोकॉल्स इज वेरी मच डिफरेंट. डेजिग्नेशन प्रोटोकॉल, डेजिग्नेशन में जब जाते हैं तो उसके प्रोटोकॉल्स अलग होते हैं. Understood? Means everywhere there is foundation of rules and regulation. You will ask, what is the rules, what is the regulation? Why it is made? Why it is not made for animals, only for human beings? Because we human beings are always concerned for the, justice. Because ultimately human beings are the social animal, okay, who is having essence of the society, okay. So you can not sustain without, justice. So for the justice, there is some rules and regulations, okay. So the Court of India plays very crucial role, for providing the justice with the fundamental rights, okay. One more thing, fundamental rights is like a food. अगर आपके पास खाना दे दिया और सारे राइट्स छीन लिए जाए तो even you can not sustain without rights, okay. So in India it is very much popular rights, that is fundamental rights, and it is also essential right. Without this no one can sustain in their life, okay. So it is very much important. I hope you understood about what and why there is essence of fundamental rights, okay. So now there is two questions I put here just for your clarification. What different levels of courts in India? This is a question. In that question, there are three levels of courts in India. That is district court, or also sometimes prepared as subordinate court. Then it is located at a district castle and presided by the district judge. Okay, हर एक जिले में एक कोर्ट होता है, उसको डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट बोलते हैं. जिला न्यायालय इन हिंदी, अंडरस्टूड. उसके अंदर जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट, जिला न्यायाधीश मींस डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज जो होते हैं, he or she used to provide the decision, okay, about any kind of cases. Then we are in the high court. It is the court, state level court. This is the state level court, okay. So all the people of the same state can access this high court, okay. So the highest judicial authority of every state, जितने भी स्टेट हैं अपने इंडिया में, सबका हाईएस्ट अथॉरिटी ऑफ द कोर्ट जो है उस स्टेट का, वो उसका हाई कोर्ट होता है. Then we are in the third court, that is the apex court, or the highest most authority of Indian judicial system, that is Supreme Court. ये Supreme Court क्या है? The ultimate authority of the judicial system of the country. ये ultimate authority of the judicial system of the country है. Country का जो है सबसे final decision कहीं से मिलता है in terms of justice, that is available in Supreme Court, that is apex court, which is located there in Delhi. Okay, I have already told you. Now the next question we are having, the question I'm going to read here. What is the composition of the courts? Courts का composition क्या है? The court usually sits with composition of 3 or 5 judges and exceptionally 7 judges. या तो 3, 5 और कभी-कभी 7 जज होते हैं, 7 judges they used to sit. When hearing cases concerning the constitutional validity of an act of the, Orichards, that is Parliament in India, this is English, this is Parliament. The Constitution requires that the court consists of a minimum of 5 judges. जो हमारा पार्लियामेंट के हिसाब से 5 जजेस को मिनिमम होने ही चाहिए. That is the requirement of the composition of the court. Now we will study about the composition of Supreme Court. What exactly Supreme Court is and what its composition. Okay. So at present the Supreme Court consists of 31 judges, 1 Chief Justice and 30 other judges. In Supreme Court number of judges, Bill of 2019 has added 4 judges to strength. पहले जो था Supreme Court में, अभी जो है present 8 Chief Justice, that is CJI, Chief Justice of India होता है. उसके बाद 30 other judges, 30 होते हैं अन्य judges होते हैं in the Supreme Court. Okay. Then जो बिल हमारा पास है Supreme Court Bill of 2019, which added 4 additional judges in this strength, and it increases the judicial strength from 31 to 34. यानी जो 31 की strength वो 34 हो गई by adding the constitutional amendment of Supreme Court Bill of 2019. Understood? So I hope you understood. Okay, so including judges, there would be 34 judges, 1 CJI, Chief Justice of India. Okay, one question I'm going to put here. You have to write the name of CGI, present CGI. Okay, now next. Then one more question. If Supreme Court is there, then what is the function of the Supreme Court? What is the function? Why it is established there? So the Supreme Court function as last resort tribunal. Means if you are not getting justice from anywhere, so you can directly move to the Supreme Court. And there is no one authority or the tribunal in the country like India beyond the Supreme Court. Supreme Court से बड़ा कोई भी यहाँ पर authority नहीं है. It also decides on case dealing, okay, with the interpretation of the Constitution. For example, it can overturn a law passed by the Congress if it deems it unconstitutional. Okay, चाहे वो कांग्रेस हो, बीजेपी हो, कोई भी गवर्नमेंट हो, अगर उन्होंने अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल कोई लॉ पास किया तो उसको उस लॉ को भी वो बंद कर सकते हैं, मना कर सकते हैं, उसको अबॉलिश कर सकते हैं, डिस्ट्रॉय कर सकते हैं. Understood? How? Because judiciary or Supreme Court is also protects the, all the affairs of the country, okay, in terms of justice. Then आप पूछेंगे कि sir, what I have to do to becoming a judge in the Supreme Court? So for that purpose there must be some qualifications, and that qualifications are, in order to be appointed as judges of the Supreme Court, a person must be citizen of India. You must have to be citizen of India. Suppose you are from Iraq and you want to be judge of the Supreme Court or in India, it is not possible because we are having the provision to provide the authority to become judges only who is citizen of India. Then must have been for at least 5 years or judges of High Court or 2 or more such courts in succession, or an advocate of the High Courts or 2 or more such courts in succession of at least 10 years. हाई कोर्ट में कम से कम या तो 10 साल की उनकी प्रैक्टिस चाहिए, 10 साल की प्रैक्टिस के बाद वो बन सकते हैं, या फिर 5 साल किसी भी हाई कोर्ट में जज की कुर्सी को वो संभाल चुके हैं. अंडरस्टूड? सो दिस इज द क्राइटेरिया. कम से कम 10 साल अगर किसी एडवोकेट के पोस्ट पे आप काम कर रहे हो किसी हाई कोर्ट में, या फिर आप जज के तौर पे किसी भी स्टेट पे हाई कोर्ट में 5 साल तक काम कर चुके हैं. सो दीज आर द क्राइटेरिया टू बिकम अ judge in the Supreme Court, that is SC. Understood? Now you will ask what are the powers of Supreme Court. आखिर जब सब कुछ है सर तो पावर्स क्या है इनके पास? पावर्स इस तरह से, it is the guardian of Constitution. ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के गार्जियन हैं. Okay, so the guardian of the Constitution is our Supreme Court. Supreme Court जो है वो क्या है? गार्जियन है अपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, that is संविधान के. Then the next one, original jurisdiction, means whatever judgment you are getting from the courts, so if you want to rectify that judgment, you must have to go with Supreme Court, and Supreme Court is the last destination of the justice in India. Okay, India is the last destination of justice, and that is Supreme Court. Then defender of the federation. फेडरेशन का मतलब क्या हो गया कि फेडरल सिस्टम है, तो यहाँ पे हर किसी को अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है अपने वर्किंग प्रिंसिपल में बिहेवियर में, सो दे कैन गो टू द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. देन एनफोर्समेंट ऑफ द फंडामेंटल राइट्स. जो भी फंडामेंटल राइट्स आपके पास है उसको एनफोर्स कौन करती है? दैट इज सुप्रीम कोर्ट. दिस आर सम फंक्शंस. देन एपेलेट जुरिडिक्शन, सिविल एंड क्रिमिनल्स. जो सिविल और क्रिमिनल के जो प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं, केसेस होते हैं, उसको भी सॉर्ट आउट करते हैं. अंडरस्टूड? देन स्पेशल लीव टू अपील. आपको अपील पे आपको लीव मिलता है, वो भी देते हैं. एडवाइजरी जुरिडिक्शन, अगर एडवाइस पे जुरिडिक्शन भी देते हैं. देन रिव्यू, रिवाइजरी जुरिडिक्शन, आपके केस को रिव्यू भी कर सकते हैं. देन कोर्ट ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स. ये कोर्ट ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स का मतलब जो होता है अलग अलग कोर्ट्स में जो भी डिसीजन हुए उसके रिकॉर्ड पर भी ये काम कर सकती है. सो एंड कंटेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट. अगर आप कोर्ट की बेइज्जती करते हैं, अगर कंटेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट, इफ यू फाउंड गिल्टी, okay, doing contempt of court, then you will also get punished. Okay, power of judicial review, also it is having the power of judicial review. Then appointment of judges is there. What are the appointment judges? मैंने बोला था citizen of India होना चाहिए. Okay, high court judges at least 5 years, कम से कम हाई कोर्ट में 5 साल का जज होना चाहिए. हाई कोर्ट एडवोकेट फॉर at least 10 years. If someone is advocate in high court for 10 years of the experience, so they can also contest, or they can also become the judges in the Supreme Court. Distinguished jurist, okay, hold office till the age of 65. The age and the tenure of the Supreme Court judges is 65 years of the age. Okay, so I hope you understood about the Supreme Court. Understood? So I am going to revise one by one what we have studied till now. First of all, we studied about the two cases, that is branches of legal system, in which we studied about the criminal law, then civil law, what was the civil law, what was the criminal law. Then later on we studied about the access to the courts, why courts are important for us, what are the basic procedures in the court, why people used to connect with the courts, why they used to visit the Supreme Court, High Court, and district court. What was the reason? So all that we did study here. Then we studied about the different cases in which you can file the PIL, public interest litigation. Then we discussed about the two questions. What are the main role of the judiciary in India? So in that we studied about judicial review करते हैं, upholding the laws and fundamental rights of citizens. Then हमने दूसरा क्वेश्चन देखा कि जो different level of courts in India है वो क्या है? डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल, हाई कोर्ट, डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट, हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट. डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट को हम लोग सबऑर्डिनेट कोर्ट भी कहते हैं. जो निचली स्तर का जो भी कोर्ट होता है, these are known as subordinate court. Understood? Then what are the composition of court? So I also told you about the composition of court. Composition में सुप्रीम कोर्ट का composition बताया कि इसमें कितने लोग होते हैं. लगभग आप मान लो 34 जो है वो जजेस होते हैं, इंक्लूडिंग CJI. CJI का फुल फॉर्म चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया. Understood? Then what are the function of Supreme Court? Supreme Court का function होता क्या exactly? वो हमने बताया आपको. Supreme Court ये होता है, उसमें जो function होते हैं उनका ये सब होता है. उस functions को मैंने बताया. और jurisdiction करते हैं, defender of the federation करते हैं, then appeal state, okay, jurisdiction, civil and criminal law को देखते हैं. So all are such kind of functions of the Supreme Court. Understood? Then appointment of judges, मैंने बताया था appointment of judges का appoint किस तरह से करते, citizen होना ही चाहिए. If you are not citizen of India, you cannot think about the becoming the judge of Supreme Court. Okay. Then High Court के judges के लिए कम से कम at least 5 years of the experience you must have to hold. Then only you can go for the judges of Supreme Court. Then I told you about all that. Okay. So in the next class we will study about the High Court. What exactly High Court is? Okay. Why there is need of High Courts? Why High Court is very much important for the state, and why Supreme Court is very much important for whole nation. I am talking about whole nation. Okay. Listen it carefully, because this is the ultimate jurisdiction or the justice platform in India. Understood? So you cannot ignore that there is a very independent judicial system. So we will also study about the composition of High Court. What are the powers of High Court? Okay, so all that we will study. Then independence of judiciary led by the Supreme Court. So all the things we will study in the next class. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the classes. If you are still having some queries, so don't forget to ask me. I'll also available there. Okay, and one more thing, you can also ask me by making me call, or by text message, or by WhatsApp. Okay, so I will also available there. I will also happy to answer you. Thank you very much. Thank you.